Google makes about 78% of their revenue from Google Ads. Social media advertising is as easy as it's ever been. We need the ad to look like it was just another post in the newsfeed, and then we need to use ad copy or languaging that says if we stop the scroll and they look at our ad, they either vote, yes, this is me, or no, this is not me. You can literally start with $1 per day. Well, hey, my friend, welcome back to day 4 of the Small Business Week free digital marketing training we're putting on for you here through Yokel Local in collaboration with MindShift, the MindShift podcast. I'm your host, Darrell Evans, co-founder and CEO of Yokel Local, host of the MindShift podcast, and the founder of the 7-figure business owner community. Today is all about the power of paid advertising. It's interesting. I'm going to start with a quote with Henry Ford, who said, "A man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time." I want you to think about that. In the world of small business, your business must be continuously and continually reaching new eyeballs, new prospects, new leads, new customers, and also staying top of mind with those people that are already evangelists or fans of your business. And in our agency over 13 years, one of the areas that we specialize in, two of the areas we specialize in are Facebook or Meta or social media advertising and Google or search engine advertising. Those are two of the most primary ways we do it here at our agency to help our customers grow their brand, generate more leads, and generate more sales. And in today's video, what I thought I would do for you a little bit differently, rather than rehash some training that I'd already produced, I'm going to share with you a couple of case studies and a couple of big ideas around why I think every business owner should be investing some dollars in paid advertising for a couple of reasons, which we'll get into in a moment. But then what I'm going to do is right beneath this video, I'm going to link up 2 masterclasses that we did for our private community. They are unlisted on our YouTube channel. And I'm going to send you down below this video the link to both of those classes. Now, I'm going to break my rule again. I said this would be a 20 to 30 minute or 10 to 20 minute training per day. But as I thought about it, it is really difficult to communicate the value of what you can do in paid advertising. And I decided today to just give you something that our paid community members get and our paid clients get access to. And on the Google ad side, we are going to be talking about some of the strategies we use in what we call our core methodology. And we also use that same methodology on Meta or social media. By the way, when I say Meta, it's largely because everybody knows Facebook and Instagram are the same now. They're basically, their advertising platform is called Meta. The company is called Meta. But the strategy of core and our social media system, they work on LinkedIn, it works on TikTok, it works on YouTube, obviously with the appropriate modifications. There are a couple of platforms we don't spend time on, and that is Twitter or X. We don't really use those platforms for our clients. So I won't speak to whether or not the efficacy of our strategy works on that platform. And we don't really do work on Pinterest. So I won't speak to those 2 platforms. But what you're about to learn today, work on both Google as well as on social media platforms, those that I've mentioned. So with that being said, here's what I got for you today. I'm going to walk you through some high-level ideas for Google. I'm going to share with you a couple of case studies. I'm going to share with you then some ideas ahead of you thinking about social media advertising, which again, if you become a part of our community at some point, you will get access to my social media ads simplified system, which is the same system we use, by the way, for our clients. But if you're not ready to become a client of ours, that's fine. But you can get access to the same system, the same formula that we use for our clients that generate leads for our clients every single day, grow their brand every single day. So with that being said, I don't want to keep you here long. I do have 2 really power-packed trainings that I'm going to share with you down below. It is going to take you a little bit more time. You're welcome to work your way through them over the rest of this series and for as long as we keep this page up. But without further ado, let's dive into a few Google case studies. Let's talk about Google, and then let's shift to social media, and I'll get you out of here. And the links below will take you on the rest of your journey for the power of paid advertising. All right. When you think about Google, we think about the search engine and we think about a lot of people think about SEO and they think that is the primary way to get traffic from Google. And what's interesting is over the 13 years or so we've been as an agency and my 20 plus years now online, I get a lot of business owners and marketers who are either pro or against running ads on Google. And the interesting part about it is, but they're all into the idea of getting free SEO traffic from the search engine, but they don't realize that the game that Google plays, and if you Google this, feel free, Google makes about 78% of their revenue from Google ads. So if you hang out with us at all, you're going to hear me say on a regular basis, we must get good at playing the game they want to play so that we can get the results that we want to get in our business. So we hear all these people talk about, SEO and trying to game the system and get to the first page of Google. Well, listen, if they have 4 or 5 ads at the top of the page, then that tells you what game they're in. Until and unless we log in on Google to pay them to search the search engine, and until and unless we log in on a social media platform to pay, then the business model on those platforms, hear me clearly, is advertising. And your business can benefit from advertising because it's their business to help your business become successful to find customers on their platform. I'm not going to get in the debate about whether Google is good or bad or indifferent and Facebook is good or bad or indifferent. I'm not here for that argument. I remember one of my clients, they'd say, I'll never advertise on Facebook because I hate Mark Zuckerberg. Great. I didn't say it's a prerequisite to like Mark Zuckerberg. I don't like it because of the way they do this or the way they do that. That's fine. But if we want to grow our business and we want to leverage the platforms where these communities and these people are populated, where your customer lives, then, and you want to stop doing networking and one-on-one and knocking doors, and you want to scale, then paid advertising has got to be a part of your strategy. Okay. Google. What's important about Google is number one, people go to Google, and you know this. I'm just going to tell you some things you already know. People go to Google for what? To solve a problem, to inquire about a question, to research data, to find providers of services, to find brands. They do that for that reason. So for us, when you're talking about acquiring customers, there's really not many better places to go than to run ads on Google. And for those that don't know, that I'm not going to take and make a ton of examples here, but let's say I'm looking locally for a family law attorney, right? Okay. Let's just take a look at the page. And by the way, do this for anything in your industry. The first thing that shows up are sponsored ads. The second thing that shows up are sponsored ads. Okay. The next thing that shows up is what we think about in terms of Google local SEO. Okay. So in most industries, let's look up, let me think of something here. Obviously, things like restaurants and things like that are pretty good. But let's just say I'm looking for a new podcast camera. Okay. And maybe you sell cameras. These are all listings to ads. See the word sponsored right there? Boom, right? Sponsored. Ads show up first. Okay. I'm not going to belabor the point. You get the idea. The point is, if you have experienced Google Ads in the past, if you've tried Google Ads in the past and it just didn't work, maybe I'd invite you to consider the possibility that you just hadn't done it right. Let me show you some examples. Okay. So, by the way, I got dozens of these. I'm going to go through a couple of them really, really quick. But law firms, for example, law firms that are looking to get business online and they don't want to do networking and referrals, everybody's going to do referrals. But when it comes to a law firm, one of the best ways for them to get business is through Google. Let's blow this up a little bit. Okay. So again, what they had problems were with, they didn't have any idea of how to get an ROI from the ads, which is what we hear all the time. It's easy to set up a campaign. It's easy to set up the account. It's actually free to do that. It's easy to give them money, but it isn't that Google's going to teach you how to do it. And by the way, here's a caution. Their representatives who call you are not going to help you optimize the campaign. They're going to help you spend more money. That's for another conversation. Okay. So what we ended up doing here is we obviously went in and we took care of their campaign. We obviously did the things that are best practices, the things that we know how to do because we're experts at this. And we helped turn a struggling ad campaign. We helped them grow their click-through rate, which obviously if your ad shows but doesn't get clicked on, you're never going to get a customer. We helped them decrease their cost per conversion. We helped them acquire more impression share. And impression share means how many more times your ad shows over your competitors. And then, of course, increase the conversion rate by not just, that's a 0.04 to 16.44%. that is not a 16% increase. That is a multiple. I can't even do the math. It's so high. Let's take a look at another one. Okay, another legal example where we cut the cost of acquisition down by 81.8% for a workers' comp and social security disability uh, law firm. Home services company. This I think is a plumbing company. Cut their increase their conversion. Excuse me, from 46.8 some odd percent. Okay, so their CPA we cut by 24%. Decrease their CPC. By the way, sorry to use jargon. Cost per acquisition of a lead, in their case, CPA, CPC, cost per click. Okay. We're cutting what it costs them to get a customer or a lead and cutting the cost of even getting the click. Okay. And then increasing the conversions. No one can be upset with this. I will put a few of these under the video so you can see them. This is a plastic surgery center. Conversion rate was increased by 262%. I don't know why we got 3167. Let's just dive into the details. Conversions increased by 3,167%. That's crazy. Decreased cost by 41. Oh, and then the ultimate conversion rate. Oh, so the raw number of conversions went up by 3,000%. So that's the number of inquiries and leads. You can look at a few of these. I'm not going to spend too much time here. My point to you with Google Ads is there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. There's a right way to set the campaign up. There's a right way to do your settings. There's a right way to bid. There's so many booby traps in the platform. And Google will have you believe that it's just as simple as let them take the wheel and set everything up on set it and forget it. And the people that come to us frustrated tend to have done just that. They set it up and then they forgot about it. Okay, that's my argument for Google Ads. I'm not going to get into it any deeper. There'll be a link below if you want to learn how we can help you. Fantastic. I want to jump into social media. Okay, and I'm going to send you to a link to a podcast, and I'd like for you to listen to this podcast episode. And it's 3 things you must know before you start running social media advertising. I'm going to summarize them for you really quick here. But to me, social media advertising is as easy as it's ever been. And I know that is a really tough statement to digest when maybe you've never done it, or maybe you're reading and hearing the news of people saying, oh, everything's gone to crap at Facebook or whatever. They got in trouble 4 years ago and they messed up the algorithm and the Apple iOS stuff. I don't know exactly what all you've heard, but I can tell you right now that things have gotten simply easier. And here's how simple it is. The thing that we must do, number one, is get the objective right. I talk more about this in the podcast. When you go into the platform, your campaign success starts with the objective that you choose. I'm going to give you some additional resources to know exactly what that means, but listen to this short episode and you'll get it. The next thing your ad must do is stop the scroll. When we are on our devices on social media, and by the way, it's not just Facebook, Meta, Instagram, those, it's all of it. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of it. People are on their phones. They are a split second away from forgetting they even saw your ad and they'll never know nothing else about you. Your job in your ad creative is to stop the scroll. The last thing, and I'll summarize, and again, you'll have this to fall back on, is you must run what we call native ads with dog whistle copy. What I mean by that is ads that don't look like ads because they're in their news feed, right? We need the ad to look like it was just another post in the news feed. And then we need to use ad copy or languaging that says if they stop this, if we stop the scroll and they look at our ad, they either vote yes, this is me, or no, this is not me. Right? So what it is it's like a push pull. We want to push away the people we don't want to stop on our ad, and we want to pull the people into our ad. And I talk more about that in that longer training that I'm going to send you. Speaking of which, let's talk about that. Okay, what I've got for you is this. I've got a masterclass that we put in our private community, and it's around our core lead generation framework. I've been in lead generation for 34 years, not obviously online for 21 years, 20, 21, something like that. In any case, we're going to walk through in this particular masterclass a case study of me launching a brand new ad account and showing you, I think, how we generated it says right there, 91 leads in 8 days at $2.81 per lead. So if you've never done social media advertising, fine. This will walk you through from a brand new account going forward, how we think about it, right? Secondarily, I want you to take a look at this particular training, if I can pull it up. And this is My dollar a day social media ad strategy. It's the strategy we start almost every brand new advertiser on who wants to build brand, who wants to elevate their expertise, who wants to elevate their influence in a marketplace and do so and know exactly what they're selling and who they're selling it to. And you heard me right. You can literally start with $1 per day. Now, don't get it twisted. The training over here is about lead generation. The training over here is about brand awareness, visibility, and engagement. And I break them down and tell you why you have to have both. In our full program, which is the social media ads simplified, there's two more campaigns to go into it, but this is basically two of our four campaign structures that we use on social all the time to generate the leads. If you're really curious, just by chance, I think we've got a few more social media case studies. Not that you really need them. I'm kind of overwhelming you with case studies. But if you pop over here, got a few social case studies over here. Sagos is a social media case study. We don't have a ton of case studies over here, y'all. I apologize. We got a lot of them in print. This one's a social media case study. Yeah, so we don't have that many extra case studies there. So today, I would invite you to be very serious about the conversation around paid advertising. Earlier in this week, we talked about website optimization. Next, we talked about website SEO for lead generation. But let me be clear, lead generation from SEO and SEO in general takes a long time. If you're willing to wait 6 months, 12 months, 18 months to really see the effect of SEO, be my guest. We always believe SEO should support a campaign. But when you really want to get after it, when you really want to build your brand, you really want to generate leads, and you want to do it soon, like you can start paid advertising today on either platform and start seeing people come into your world, into your company, into your store, into your e-commerce, into your professional service business within days to within a week to 10 maximum. And that's assuming you're just getting started and don't know what you're doing. We pretty much never have a scenario where we don't have leads coming into a client's business within 24 to 48, 72 hours maximum. And that's if they're even starting from scratch. If they ever have a history of running leads, then we can just build on and optimize that pretty much really quick. Okay, I'm not trying to oversimplify what paid advertising is about. That's why I wanted to give you those deeper, longer videos, the resource link to the podcast episode, and feel free to read through any of these case studies. I'm a big fan of paid advertising. I've been doing it since I was in my 20s. I started online in the 2003, 4, 5 range. And I just believe that, as Henry Ford said, that the person who stops their advertising is like a person who stops their clock just so they can save time. You're investing in the growth of your business. You want leverage. You want to scale. You want to have it predictable. And in my opinion, not just because I like paid advertising, but because I've got the proof. It is one of the most scalable, predictable things you can do. When you put $1 in and you can map out a scenario where you get 2 out, 3 out, 5 out, 10 out, or whatever, it works. I can prove it. I hope you'll take us up on the training. Click down the links below, and I'll see you in day 5 when we're going to be talking about email marketing, which is another phenomenal resource in digital marketing. One of the best there is today on the back end of paid advertising. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hit the subscribe button so you can become a part of the MindShift community. We'll help you shift your mind so you can shift your results.